Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon White version. Last time, we visited the Poke Transfer Lab and learned the very valuable lesson that a mad scientist is nothing without a peppy and charming assistant. They helped us with transferring Pokemon from Gen 4 of yesteryear, and we went around Unova seeing all of the things that said transferable Pokemon are able to change for us. Well, most of them. Not quite all of them. There are still some things that we couldn't do yet. But this time, it's finally the moment. Truly marvelous and also a bridge. The place with the greatest slogan for its tourism ever. It's been hyped up for so long, we are finally going to Marvelous Bridge. I decided to find a new Pokemon partner around Route 13. Fascinating. I bet they were level 70 and also water type. I want to research an effective fighting method for rotation battles. Do you have a battle with me? Oh, sure, why not? We had a rotation battle back in Black City, and now we're going to have a rotation battle up on, well, not up on, but down under Marvelous Bridge. Alamamola, Kling Clang, and Behem. Alright, not Pokemon that we typically see. Fortunately, my immediate thought was to go to Terabyte and use Crunch, but Steel resists Dark now. I don't think Behem has... Yeah, no, let's do Earthquake. I think that's the most safe bet that I could really do. You don't rotate at all. You have a butt-ton of HP. It's applicable because she actually has a butt on her butt. Okay, yeah, you have, like, no special attack. What am I scared about? There is nothing to fear when Alamamola is around. There is something to fear if you have Focus Blast. Well, I guess we'll never know. Cool. Get that Moxie boost. And Alamamola coming back in for another round. What do I want to do here, really? I think I'll just go for another Earthquake, really. I can damage range you. This ain't gonna be a 3-hit KO, hopefully. Hey! I know how to call him. Oh. Grab another Moxie and Kling Clang. I will be as professional and civil with you as I can possibly be. Your ass is so screwed. Go, 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 go! Shake his world! Yeah, Kling Clang, rotation battle. For that, we grew to level 69. Grow to level 68. By any chance, are you a rotation battle genius? Now you can have rotation battles with your friends. I would say that that would be something to brag about being a rotation battle genius, but it would kind of suck if that was your best skill, only for it to be a battle system that was actually retired. Ace Trainer Glinda is very strange. So you might think that she can be battled daily, but no, she can be battled twice daily. I'm talking to her again and she's not battling me, so you might be wondering why. If you go back to Opalucid City's Battle House and you defeat Ace Trainer Eileen or Ace Trainer Lou there and then come back and talk to her again, she'll let you battle her again. It feels a little bit like an oversight. I'm not sure why it exactly is that way, but, well, it is. Freshwater me. Of course, I want to remember this momentous occasion. Marvelous Bridge is really mind-boggling, so I'm taking a rest. Bask in its glory. This is gone. He went off somewhere alone after we rescued him from the castle. From the day Getsus saved our lives, we have sworn to be loyal to him. Even now, after he ordered us not to search for him. Also, Getsus said to give you this. Adamant Orb. Raises the power of Dragon and Steel-type moves for the Pokemon Dialga. You must transfer that in if you want to see that benefit. The Lustrous Orb raises the power of Dragon and Water-type moves for the Pokemon Palkia, who also must be transferred in. And this also. Grizius Orb raises the power of Dragon and Ghost-type moves for the Pokemon Giratina and also does something else. Ghetsis. Where did he find these? What was he planning to do with them? Why did he give them to you? There's no way to know now. Is he testing you? Or using you? We, the Shadow Triad, have always been and always will be the loyal servants of Ghetsis. And Ghetsis' ambitions will never cease! Never shall we meet again. Farewell! I bet he fell into a dimensional time portal, ended up in another dimension, and is now manipulating somebody else in that dimension into thinking that he is the boss of Ghetsis, when in reality Ghetsis is pulling the strings behind the scenes all over again. Just a hunch. The Grizius Orb! Should we give that to Giratina? Yeah, Haywire is sitting it out. It's kind of her job whenever there's a legendary dragon in the party. Giratina will transform into its origin form, and you get a cool little animation of it happening. That was why I wanted to transfer Giratina in. Now we have seen everything that the transferable Pokemon are able to do for us. Also on Marvelous Bridge, if you were listening out for those flaps, yes! You can get your wings here, obviously. But there is also one new Pokemon that we have not encountered anywhere else that can be found only on Marvelous Bridge. Swanna. Its main draw is using Rain to its advantage to power up its Water-type moves and also use Hurricane, which, finally, this far into the journey, it's still on the cusp of learning it. Yeah, it still is not found at the levels in the wild where it would know its bread and butter move. Besides that, it learns normal, flying, and water moves, and then Ice Beam. It's good at what it does despite what its low stats might have you thinking, but every Swanna uses the same moves. We continue, well, not really continue on, but kind of continue backwards. I was trying to get one to spawn in, but not really having any luck finding it. This lady with her Patrat that we saw on Village Bridge has now moved here. Will you come see the famous Patrat show at Marvelous Bridge? Okay, I'm gonna get all fired up. Already all Patrat, everyone gather up. The Patrat that I will have you follow today is this. The little Patrat with the cutest dimples. It's holding a big mushroom. Ready, set, go. I think I saw that little trick. When they were do-si-doing around, I think two of them switched places, so that would make it you. Hey! I never win that! I'm really happy! Big Mushroom. That marks the grand finale of our Patrat show. Thank you, one and all. Oh, she can only do one Big Mushroom a day. I guess the Patrat show is as low budget as it looks. Well, you can do that once daily, get an item for your troubles. However, now you spawn in after I was running around in circles for ages trying to show it. The Faceless Man. Ah, such magnificent scenery. That's creepy. Heading back over toward the west, however, didn't want to waste your time walking all this way back. Son, have I a deal for you, and you alone. Here's your chance. I will sell you the secret Pokemon Magikarp for an unbelievable 500 Pokedollars. How about it? Interested? Yep, we're ending the last new area on Magikarp. It's level 5 and exclusive to the post-game. You don't want to raise it. If you still want to, I guess I can at least say that it'll evolve in one level due to how strong our opponents are now. What a weird note to end on. You know what? We're going for it! Perfect jingle. Would not be reliving anybody's childhood if they didn't get ripped off by the Magikarp salesman at some point in their life. I don't need to give it a nickname. I'm good just having the classics. Oh yeah, a return's not accepted. Got that? I hate you, but I wouldn't have you any other way. You're a valuable part of my upbringing and that of everyone else's. This man taught us all that life is not so cut and dry and not everyone is out there to help you. He taught us some of the most valuable lessons of all. Though the more cynical lessons that nobody wants to teach you, Magikarp salesman, you were there to parent me when my parents didn't want to. That is the full ring. We have come full circle back to Route 16, and we are ending our circuit at Nimbasa City. Are we done, however? Not really, no. There was still one part of Unova that we never went back to re-explore. Before we do, however, I have a little business with you, something I want to do first that'll be important for where we're going. I happen to have traded in from another source the Pokemon Genesect. This must be obtained from an event, just like the others that we have seen. And, yeah, Genesect is a Pokemon that's going to be important to what we are doing here. But before going onward, I want to open up the Pokedex, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'd like to show you the Pokedex entries for these mythical creatures that we have not yet gotten a chance to look at. It crosses the world, running over the surface of oceans and rivers. It appears at scenic waterfronts. Many famous songs have been inspired by the melodies that Meloetta plays. I think we've actually heard that one. This ancient bug Pokemon was altered by Team Plasma. They upgraded the cannon on its back. Much like Mewtwo before it, being the creation of Team Rocket from an ancient Mew fossil, this is a Paleozoic Pokemon that was brought back by Team Plasma and then upgraded. I don't know if they mean that they added the cannon. I guess upgraded implies that it had a cannon before, which is a little bit strange, which I guess would explain why it was such a fearsome hunter when the edge of the dinosaurs. I mean, you'd be too, pretty much no matter how inept you were if you had a friggin' cannon on your back, but Genesect, it's interesting. I personally don't believe in this theory, but it is a very widely believed theory that it is a Kabutops. That's similar to how Team Plasma didn't know what a Dragonite was when they robbed the Nacrene Museum. They wouldn't have recognized Kabutops, would have put it in that armor and converted it into Genesect. It says ancient bug Pokemon, though, so I don't know how much I believe that, but I also suppose that technically, I guess Kabutops could have been a bug type before it was fossilized, because I doubt every fossil Pokemon was originally a rock type in its day, and it just became one after it was fossilized. That's just what I think. With this being a creation of Team Plasma, there was one Plasma-related location that we never really found out anything about. That's Pichu Laboratory at the end of Route 18 near New Vemetown. We're going back to the beginning. I'm kind of happy we're getting to see this place in the spring. Seeing all the different looks that this place has to it. And as we head out, as one would expect, there are new Pokemon that we can encounter on Route 17 and 18 now that we have the Super Rod and now that we have access to Swarm encounters. Let's get talking about them. Finneon! Ugh, it's bad. Aside from a few interesting move options, it's a painfully average water type that no one ever remembers. What about those interesting moves, though? U-Turn and Silverwind are about it. That's all it has going for it to separate it from every other fish. You can catch Lumineon here by fishing in rippling water without needing to evolve Finneon, but it's pretty irrelevant, and there's so many better water types available now that we have our Super Rod. Heck, there were good water types you could get with the Super Rod back on Route 1 in Phoebus and Milotic. I don't even understand what they were going for when they made Lumineon. It's not even a speedy tank, it's just slightly above average speed Pokemon with slightly more bulk than either of its attacking stats when pretty much all of its good moves are attacking moves. Sure, I guess it's fast on rain teams if you go for Swift Swim, but it doesn't have anything to take advantage of going first. It's just forgettable, and I have no idea why it came back as an encounter besides looking really pretty. Let's brighten things up a little bit, because through normal fishing, we have the great Horsey. Its highest level up move is learned at just 42, so whatever you want it to learn, it's yours. The Horsey family is a jack of all trades in terms of stats, and gets an amazing type once fully evolved. But there's really no need for Horsey itself. Why? Because Seadra! It's even more common than Horsey if you fish in the rippling water. It can also have all of its level up moves from 57, has more level up moves, and is generally a better place to start. To evolve, it requires a Dragon Scale, which we've already been able to reasonably obtain for a while, because on our first visit to Route 17 there was one right there, even though we couldn't get Horsey. If you want to just cut to the chase and not trade to evolve it, you don't have to worry about trading. 5% of the time in rippling water is Kingdra. It can be up to level 70 and has access to all of its level up moves at the same level that Seadra does. The water dragon type is one of my personal favorites, only being weak to dragon and having quad resistances to water and fire. Similar to Milotic, which seems to just be getting brought up all the time today, it really only uses a water move, an ice beam, and maybe a dragon move if it's lucky, but it's very balanced stats and interesting abilities, just make it a fun water type to use that differs from the norm. It's one of those fun to use Pokemon and there's nothing to especially dislike about it. And our last Pokemon on Route 17 is Qwilfish. I'm gonna be straight with you. I actually kind of like little Qwilfish now. Hear me out. It is far from the best, and yes, its stats are pretty middle of the road. But with time, my opinion has been swayed for the better, and I want to pass on the light that I have seen when it comes to Qwilfish. First, its defensive typing is wonderful, and it resists so many things. 7 types, in fact. Second, its water moves aren't all that bad, and with a somewhat respectable attack stat, it's a pretty good user of Waterfall. Third, it's a good utility Pokemon. It naturally gets spikes and toxic spikes, but thanks to the select TMs that are available in Unova, it can learn Taunt and, believe it or not, Thunder Wave. Fourth, its speed stat is pretty good and it can actually take advantage of Swift Swim, unlike Lumineon that doesn't know what it wants to do with it. And fifth, thanks to being a poison type, it can use Black Sludge for its item. This is really far from the worst Pokemon out there, and a lot better than I think most people think Qwilfish is. The only part of it that I can say is outright as horrible as Qwilfish looks at first glance is that it can't have Intimidate in this game, and there are many better Pokemon with Swift Swim when building a rain team. Overall, I would classify Qwilfish as middle of the road, not trash. And I'd recommend it if you want a fun challenge or something unusual that you've never tried before. I think I've made many points for it being worth something after all. Following Genesect's Pokedex entry all the way here, we're gonna take it inside. Oh, it's just a kid. You. It couldn't be. The fact that you are here means you came to learn about the secret of Genesect. We, Team Plasma, revive Genesect from a fossil. Then we enhance the Pokemon with the power of science! It is the strongest Pokemon in history! But our Lord N was not interested in this Genesect that was modified by the power of science. Science damages the natural beauty of Pokemon. They're perfect beings! That's what he said. So our research was halted and this facility was closed. However, the Genesect research is all mine! So if you want to know Genesect's secret, you'll have to beat me in a battle. You really know how to pick me off when I don't have my full team of Pokemon on me because I had to bring Genesect all the way here, plus I wanted necessity for being able to fly away whenever I wanted. Scientist Dudley! Dudley is right. You just have a Clink, alright. Let's have some fun with you. I haven't gotten to use Sheer Cold enough times, and you're using an X special on your first turn, like the scientist that you are. No, okay. We're gonna go first. Yeah! Slightly above average right there, 1-hit KO. And your other Pokemon is Clang. Now you have 2 X items, but we'll try it again anyway. Yes! Oh! I know it's pointless, but it feels so good to get that off whenever it actually does work. Oh, my groundbreaking research. It belongs to me now. I've lost everything. I forgot my duty as a scientist is to make the world happy. So, this must be what I get for trying to make a Pokemon into a tool for fighting. I'm going to wash my hands of this Genesect matter. I don't need this anymore. I will give it to you. The Douse Drive! The item I gave you was made for Genesect. When it holds an item like this, it changes the type of the move called Technoblast, so it can always have an advantage. There was another one in my other pocket. Holding out on us, Chill Drive! In Black version, he would give you something else. He would give you the shock drive, and I think the burn drive were the name of those two items. So depending on the version, you can get separate ones. And you know what that means? We have access to Genesect's full potential. Team Plasma's ultimate creation and the final Pokemon in the Univadex! With the excellent defensive typing of Bug Steel, good speed, and strong offensive stats, this is a sweeper that can just keep the pressure going. The ability download is surprisingly good in its usage by Genesect too when it's a mixed attacker. It can reliably benefit from either a physical attack or a special attack boost. In fact, because of its ability activating as soon as it's sent out, it essentially has at least a 189 base stat in whatever it gets the boost in as soon as it's sent out into battle. Easily, the biggest and best tool it has at its disposal is U-Turn. With its speed, attack, and potential download boost, plus Bug giving it same type attack bonus, this hits for so dang much, and it takes a huge bite out of anything that you'd want to switch against whenever Genesect might be scared into switching out of battle. Even if your foe resists it, it's gonna hit for a lot. Otherwise, it's a strong user of Iron Head. Heck, even if Genesect does get weak, it's disposable because it learns Explosion and is one of the better users of it out there. As we just heard, Genesect has a signature move called Technoblast, an 85 power, 100 accurate special move that can be normal type, fire type, ice type, water type, or electric type, depending on Genesect's held drive. This sounds cool and all, but Technoblast is weaker than Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt, which it learns anyway. Plus, unlike a certain other Pokemon that does the same thing with their signature move, Genesect can never get the same type attack bonus from any of these attacks. So when it comes down to it, only the Douse Drive is worth anything because Genesect doesn't learn any other water type moves, and when it uses up its held item slot as well as one of its move slots just to have another move type in its moveset, you have to ask yourself if it's worth all that trouble just to give Genesect a water move. I really don't think it is, and with the held item slot freed up, you can instead use that slot for a choice item or a life orb, which is how it performs best. With its U-turn hitting so much faster and it switching out all the time, being locked into a move with a choice item is not such a big deal either. Unimpressive as its signature move might be, it's still a ruthlessly strong Pokemon in every other aspect. And that's it. But we're not actually quite done here. Out on Route 18, we got some exploring to do, and I think I need to use a repel. Good thinking, if I do say so myself. No, not what I was wanting to have happen. I was trying to slip between, but sometimes this game's weird where it looks like something takes up a whole space, but it actually doesn't, and I don't know, like, I feel that way about the coast. How it looks like the coast could be less bulky than it is and how you interact with it. I don't know, it's a weird thing. Maybe I'm not right, maybe I'm not, maybe it's just me, I'm not sure. It smells of the sea here. This place is the same ocean smell as where I was born. Getsus wandered the lands of this world all over, collecting knowledge of all kinds while searching for like-minded people. From the moment we met, he understood what I desired. The ability to understand the minds and the needs of others. That is an ability that everyone needs to survive. My Lord N is a kind and excellent person who understands the hearts of Pokémon. But conversely, perhaps his ability to understand the hearts and feelings of people is not developed enough. But even that was part of the perfection of Getsus's plan. When it comes to Getsus, I cannot separate the truths from lies. See this? I received it from Getsus, but I no longer need it. I hope you can put it to good use. TM32 Double Team raises the evasiveness one stage, and you're gonna get punched in real life if you bring this into a competitive match. Someday, if my Lord N develops the ability to understand the feelings of people as well as Pokémon, I would like us to gather again. More than anything, I want to see N confront Getsus. And now about Team Plasma. I am an officer of the International Police, and there are so many things you must tell me at once. If that is what you desire. Thank you a lot. Blair, on a topic I must speak to you. Having received such a report of someone far from here who has seen a person like N and a dragon Pokemon, I am on my way to verify the veracity of this information. We will meet again one day. Man, he didn't even say he was going to arrest that guy before taking him away. How rude. Next, we're heading off to Isurus City. Might seem a little bit random, like we don't have much reason to go here, and I do want to take care of a little bit of a footnote real quick. Genesect is not our last bio. It was the last new Pokemon that we could obtain, but it's not our last bio. I missed over one. I guess I was too busy ogling at Keldio's butt to notice that we actually had a new encounter on Route 8. The Swarm on Route 8 is Krogunk. It's a physical attacker that learns a lot of poison, fighting, and dark-type moves. Is that bad? Not really, no. It can learn both Swords Dance and Bulk Up and Nasty Plot for some reason, so it can definitely set up in different situations. It's built to function on Rain Dance teams the most since its immunity to water with dry skin makes it so that the buff water-type moves received in Rain cannot possibly be used against it. All the while, it's going to passively be recovering health in the situation. Mainly, just give it a Life Orb, give it the above-mentioned health recovery options to cancel out the effects of the Life Orb, and it'll serve you very well, being ridiculously annoying in the process. In Versus, it's also a good user of Substitute for these reasons paired with the Black Sludge. Overall, a pretty nice Pokemon with a unique type. As nice as it is that the one missed bio happened to be right next to Isurus City, I wanted to come here for another reason. I want to revisit Dragon Spiral Tower. Because, with Team Plasma coming up again one final time and all of the sages being taken care of, I think this is a good time to just kind of, reflect on things a little bit, and think about the way that things might have gone if they were just a little bit different. In Black version, it goes without saying that N is able to successfully meet Zekrom on top of Dragon Spiral Tower instead of Reshiram, and you must seek out Reshiram from the Light Stone in order to stop him. I mentioned a very long time ago that back in Chargestone Cave, when N asks you if you have a dream, this will actually impact the remainder of the story in a meaningful way. By saying yes to this, he sees you as his equal, and he wants to challenge you to see who comes out ahead. He treats you as his equal for the remainder of the story, and that's his motivation for the two of you to battle at Pokemon League. If you say no to this, however, he thinks very negatively of you starting at that point, saying that one without a dream could never understand what he hopes to achieve, and he will just simply prove how strong he is by sweeping you before him. He continues to have somewhat of a lower opinion of you even into the ending. To one who says that they have a dream, he will say that Unova is in good hands with you protecting it, but if you say that you don't have a dream, he says that he hopes you dream your dream and become a person like that. It's a nice little detail that they really didn't have to go out for, but I think adds a lot of personalization to the story. In addition to that, because N is partnered up with Zekrom in that version of the story, he will instead say that Pokemon being separate from people is not the truth that everything should have always been. He will say that it is the ideal world that he wishes to create. Truth and ideals, every mention of them are swapped depending on the version that you are playing. That is every branching path that we did not experience in the story of Pokemon Black and White. And with the failed experiment of Genesect reclaimed, all of Team Plasma sages found and accounted for, and spotted in another region far away, and us back in Dragon Spiral Tower, that is the end of this story. Though, not the end of our travels, actually. Next time on Pokemon Black and White, we're going to be seeing some more miscellaneous topics, things that didn't really fit in much of anywhere else. Some of the more out there things that you can do in this vast landscape. See you guys then.